We descend, feel love, we defy, we defy, we defy, we defy.
Hello and welcome back to Russ Plays Games. My name is Russ, and as you can see, well, we're down here on the floor because this game has grown way beyond my dining room table, okay? Because it is gigantic, and as you can see, we are back to Let's Play Sword and Sorcery Ancient Chronicles. This is quest number 2, okay? So in the first part of this series, I went over all of the basic components, okay? One at a time, I went through all of what the different components did, and I went through, but just a recap, okay? Over here, we have Artemis, okay? This is the character card. This is her ability that she can use while she's on the card, okay? And this is how much she can hold in her backpack, which is over on this side of the character card over here, okay? And then this over here is the powers, okay? So right now she has this power, which is Prey of the Herd. If heroes control the target enemy's area, that enemy suffers Act HP, which means they take 1 HP. And at Soul Rank 1, they can KO and times the range, which is equal to 0. Okay, so she can knock out a certain number of heroes at range 0. Okay, whatever X is. If X is equal to 0, then she can knock out those people. Okay. And it takes a regular action to do that. And to do all that stuff, we have up here, this is the Soul Gem. Okay. This is the number of health points. This is the number of combat actions, the number of regular actions, and the number of powers that you can have. And also talents if there's a little asterisk up near the number here by the powers button. This is primary hand, okay? It's denoted by this, and then this is offhand over here. So like if you have a shield or something like that. And a short bow takes 2 hands because that's a 2-handed weapon, which is what this little symbol is, and this little symbol is this little symbol, okay? And with the scimitar, she can actually hold it in both hands, okay? We also have Mist over here. Mist is a Valkyrie. And then she has a Venture card. And she also has a little trait card there. They all have little trait cards. Okay, and they also have these remembrances, which means if we do certain times, then if we play certain, games in taverns, if we do certain things in taverns, we get certain remembrances, we get certain bonuses when you flip this over, okay? You tally it all up, and then what you get is what you get for a talent, okay? So we're going to be trying to do those eventually, but right now we don't have anything to do during that, okay? So anyway, we have Mist over here, okay? And she has a knife and the Wand of Darts. And over here we have Jeanne. Jeanne is a cleric kind of character, paladin kind of character, okay? And as you can see, there they are, okay? Because that's where we begin our adventure today. So, this is Act 1, Quest 2, and we're going to be going for a little while here. This is probably going to be like the first quest, Anvil of the Gods. This is probably going to end up being probably like a 2 or 3 part, because this map, that's not all there is. As you can see, I have some paper on the board because I basically like put all of the tiles out, okay? This is my Adapta-tabletop. I backed this on Kickstarter a while back. This is for board games. And this is only a 4x4 square, okay? Because this actually goes out another 2 squares this size, okay? So basically a square size is about like from where you can see this little line here down to here. So this actually goes out another 2 squares, okay? And so I can put a nice big board on this thing, and like if I was playing, say, Star Wars Rebellion, I could put the board on here, and then I can put the components down below, Okay, and so I kind of thought about using this when I was thinking about doing this Let's Play. I was thinking about having this board out. So I actually pulled up my Adapta-tabletop and I put it out there, and I'm like, sweet. Okay, so this is Quest 2, a Starless Sky. As the heroes leave the stony hearths of Nilmerg behind. Oh, forgot to mention, in the last episode, we visited the city of Nilmerg, okay? And we visited a couple of the different places in Nilmerg, and we did some different things in Nilmerg, and that was kind of fun. But now we're heading back out, and we're going to go do some more quests, because we only have one soul gem. Just one. So we need more. And how do we get more? Well, we need to kill some more people. And we need to complete some more quests. Because sometimes when you complete quests, you get some soul gems. Okay? And that's how we're going to go up in soul rank. Okay? Which is, right now we're at soul rank 1. We need 4 points to go up to soul rank 2. But we need 4 for every single person. Okay? Oh, and by the way, this is the Tristan hero card. And I haven't decided if I'm going to use him or not. In fact, I painted him up to look like that, which is actually pretty damn awesome. So I haven't decided if I'm going to use him. If I do use him, I might bring him in the 3rd quest, okay? Because that will be the next quest that we will go to, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Oh, and I forgot one thing, but I'll put it on as soon as I'm done reading this, this point. Okay, so as the heroes leave the stony hearths of Nilmerg behind, a maze of galleries stretches in all directions through these subterranean lands, as wild and cruel as the savage predators that prowl every tunnel and crevice, surrounded by the unknown and startled by the echo of sinister noises. The party has only one choice. They must explore the dark and gloomy caves of this forgotten world, with the starless stone ceiling as its sky, seeking the road to the dread metropolis of Mantis. Okay. So, what I need to do is I need to pull out all of those right now, because we don't need those guys in there. Because all we need is those. Okay. And then, for the event deck, let me see here. I think this one is 7, 2, and 11, which we don't need right at the moment. I think this is actually the event deck we want. Okay. So we will put our event deck up there. Now, the special quest rules is if the last event deck in the last event in the deck is discarded, or all the heroes are ghost souls, then you read paragraph 2.31. Okay, and we won't worry about that. And as you can see, I've already set up the thing. The only thing I didn't put on there was a difficult terrain marker, which we will do right now, which I think is right here at the front. Now, the only thing about difficult terrain marker, okay, so there's the difficult terrain marker. Okay, what the difficult terrain marker does, okay, is that it will give you, it basically just makes it so that it's harder for you to move, okay? And when I mean move, I mean to move forward. It costs you 2 movement points to move forward, okay? And the movement points, like over here, you can see that Artemis has 4 movement points, Mist has 4 movement points, and Jeanne has 3 movement points. So when they move, it's going to cost them 2 movement points to go through, okay? Now, let me see here. Does the quest enemy... Is there a special thing for the quest enemy, or is that just... Let me just take a look really fast in the rule book. I'm just looking at one specific little tiny thing. Okay. Quest enemy. That's a quest ending check. Shadow tokens. discard and replace it with the enemy indicated by the storybook or the book of secrets. Okay. So if I pull the quest enemy, then I have to look at... Well, I'll find out. I think the quest enemy is a different... Yeah, it's a different one. But anyway, I don't think it matters. All right. So, let's begin. Now, the only thing I didn't do was grab my thing, which is fine. Ooh. Come here, dice. We can roll the dice on the table. It's not that big of a deal. So, I'm going to pull all those out. All of these tokens get shoved back in the bag because that's what they're supposed to do. They're for special things, like you're supposed to draw these tokens at random, and so that's why they're there. They're special for that, and it is what it is. Okay. So, now, and if you remember, these little bookmarks just mean that when you move the, when the character's done doing their movement and actions and all that kind of stuff, then you flip it over like that to denote that they are actually done with their turn. Okay. So, I think what we're going to do, because we have a little thing here, we have a little shadow token here, so as soon as someone moves around, they're going to spawn that, plus the nest minion will become important as well. So, what we're going to do is we're going to move Jeanne. Jeanne is going to move 1, 2, 3, okay, into the same area. Now, whenever we move into this area, we flip this token, and it's the quest enemy token. So, we bring that down here, and we look at the Book of Secrets, and we try to see if we know what the quest enemy is. Okay. Try as she might, the hero's gaze cannot pierce the darkness. A hostile creature jumps out of the shadows and blocks the way. Yet beyond the enemy there is nothing else to see, even if there seemed to be something else there in the first place. Discard the quest enemy shadow and spawn one enemy in the same area. Unless save, activate the just spawned enemy. Okay, so there's the quest enemy shadow. Or sorry, I'm supposed to roll 2 red dice. Never mind. Derp. Okay, so I'm supposed to roll 2 red dice. So actually, that's what we're supposed to do. I read the wrong passage. Sorry, my bad. Okay, so we got... Okay. If at least one sword and sorcery token was, or sword and sorcery face was rolled, go to 2.14. Otherwise, go to 2.13. Well, we didn't roll... So, that's what we did. Okay, so try as you might. So, we spawn one enemy in the same area. Okay. So that means we go over here and we grab an enemy card, which is the giant spider. Okay? We go over here, we take the giant spider, and we'll put it right here. Okay? Because I'm doing this in this respect, okay? I want those guys, and then we put the giant spider in the same area as the hero, okay? And then we make a save, which her save is the star, okay? Which is that little guy right there, okay? So we need to roll that on the die. Oh, we did! Oh! So it doesn't activate right now. Yes! All right. Okay, so we have a chance to actually kill this thing before we activate it, okay? Because it actually activates at the end of Jeanne's turn, because in the turn system, okay, the way that the turn rules is that you have your time phase, okay, which we don't do anything on the first sequence, and then we have the battle phase, which we have the hero turn, and then at the very end of that, we have the enemy turn, and then we do the event phase, okay? So we're going to take that shadow token, and we're going to put it off to the side, okay? Because we'll have use for the other shadow tokens once we get to the next part of the board, okay? Now, okay, so we have this giant spider. It has 4 health, okay, and you can kind of see what's going on. So if this had activated, what we would have done is we would have actually, we would have basically done choosing the behavior rule, which is one of these top ones, okay, and then we would have selected the victim, which in this case is the one that has the least amount of health, okay, but since there's only one in its area right now that's in line of sight, okay, because line of sight is from this mark to this mark, okay, and so that would have made it so that it would have made it impossible for that enemy to see these two, okay, and so that means that it would have just attacked Jeanne, okay? And then, so we would have looked at it, and then we would have said, okay, well, if it's in the same, then it would be, if slowed, the use and trap. If not, you attack with bite, and then you move away one area. So then it would have moved back 1 to there. So it would have moved from here to here, okay? But because it's not doing that currently, at the moment, then we can actually attack with Jeanne. Now, Jeanne's mace, okay, has 1 red, 3 blue, and if we roll any lightning bolts, we re-roll any hit die we want, and if we roll 2 lightning bolts, we can stun the creature, okay? And stunning the creature just makes it so that it cannot move, okay? It cannot, or it can only do, like, certain actions. So we take 1 red, 3 blue, okay, and we roll, and we got 2 hits and 2 lightning bolts. Okay? 1 die and 1 thing. Okay? So I think, let me see here. What does this one do again? Done. Completely skip activation. No reaction attacks allowed. Okay. So what I think I'm going to do is, okay, I'm going to hit this thing with 2, and I don't believe it has, yeah, it does not have any, it doesn't have any defense at all, because there's no thing. And so what do we end up with? So we grab, let me see here, that's not the right one. Where did you go? There you are. Wait a minute. What did I do with those? Son of a gun. Alright, hang on just 1 second here. Thought I had all my tokens. Alrighty. As you can see, this thing is huge. There's so much in here. There we go. And get out of there. Okay. And then what we do is we take this, we take it to the rank 3 side, okay, and we place it on the card thusly, okay? That's the stunned symbol right there, okay? So that means it's stunned. And it takes 2 damage. So we take, actually, we take, oh, open up our Citadel thing here, and bam! We put a 2 on its thing. Okay? Now, that is Jeanne's turn done, because she's not going to activate any of her powers, and she's done moving, and she's done attacking. Okay? Then, we are... okay, we'll clear those, because he doesn't activate because he's stunned. Okay? And... let me see here. Does the stun effect clear? When is the stun effect? I think the stun effect clear at the end. Let me see here. Effects cleanup. Oh, I think that's on page 17. That's during the time phase, I believe. Yeah. Generate magic shields. Yeah, and I believe that's when, like, your... comes up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like when your effects... let's see here. Hang on one second. I'm just getting this done here. I'm just trying to figure out. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out, like, when we get to the body conditions. There it is. A stun enemy will skip its activation. This means that when an encounter card or an equivalent activation effect activates an enemy, it does nothing instead. Stun enemies are not able to perform reaction attacks. Simply place the health condition token on the enemy card, then rotate it until the matching ranks point upward relative to the card. This means that it is not possible for the enemy to suffer 2 or more different health conditions at the same time. Discard the health condition token if removed by any effect or at the end of the activation that involves the affected enemy. Okay, so basically what we would do then is we would draw an encounter card. Okay, and this one says basically that we activate any faith-based enemies. Otherwise, each enemy recharges 1 and heals 3 HP per act. That does nothing because we don't have any effect to, we don't have anything like that, and he can't heal because he's stunned. Okay? So, we pull that off. We set that back in our little thingamabopper here. And we move on with our turn. Okay? So that means that the next hero that we're going to activate is going to be Artemis. So now Artemis is going to move 1, 2, 3, and she's going to attack. Now her attack is 2 red dice. Okay, she can reroll any hit, and if she rolls a sword and sorcery symbol, then she can perform an extra attack with this weapon against the same enemy. Okay? Now what's interesting is that if she also, as a passive ability, because that's what that purple symbol means, says all your enemies, all your attacks against wounded enemies inflict, if I happen to roll a sword and sorcery logo, which is one of these, okay, then I get plus act hits, okay? And if I roll a gremlin symbol, which I don't think this one has a gremlin symbol on it. Yeah, it does, okay. If I roll the gremlin symbol, which is that guy right there, then I perform a critical, okay? So critical ignores, like, armor and stuff like that, okay? So I get extra bonuses if I actually do certain things, okay? So let's roll and let's see what we got. Whoop, we got 2 hits and we scored a lightning bolt, which means we can re-roll hit dice if we wish. But I don't want to roll because we're actually killing this guy right now. Okay. So because he doesn't have any armor, any saves or anything like that, then he dies. So we toss that token back in there, and we discard the giant spider, so you can kind of see there where the enemies are. And then we move this back down here, and we gain 1 soul point. Okay? Because on the card here, you can see down here at the bottom, you can see the soul point token. Okay? So we will put him over there. All right. And then we will remove our little spider buddy, because he's dead. Okay. Now, Artemis has 1 movement point left. And she can also do an action if she wishes. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and move her 1 space forward next to the spawn point. And then for Mist, I think we're going to do the same thing. We're going to move her 1, 2, 3, and 4. Actually, 4, we'll move her right next to that spawn point. Okay, she's next to the spawn point, not next to the waypoint. Okay, that's the next movement phase. Okay, so now we have done Jeanne's turn, we've done Artemis's turn, so I'm just flipping the bookmarks. Okay, and now it's the event phase. And for the event phase, we flip the top event card over. If we have 3 heroes, then we spawn 1 nest. If we have 4+ heroes, we spawned 2 nests. Okay? Then each nest uses breeding. So we will bring this nest up here, and we will spawn 1 nest. Okay? Because it goes kind of in the same area as the spawn point. Okay? And it uses breeding. The beginning of each enemy turn, and when triggered, okay, roll a single red die per nest. For each hit rolled, spawn 1 venom if available in the area of the related nest. So if we roll a hit, then we get to spawn some venoms. And we rolled 1 hit. So we spawn 1 venom in the area of the nest. Okay? Now, with the venom, because it just spawned, it won't do anything. It will literally just sit there. Okay? So now, each of these you can see, has 6 health points, and it has an act defense, which means it will ignore 1 hit, because we're in Act 1. Okay? For defeating each thing, we get 5 crowns per nest, and we get 1 soul point per nest. And these guys, they just have 1 HP. Okay? So now we go back up to the top, which is our time phase, which is the effects cleanup. Okay? We apply damage and then any other effects, which we don't have any effects yet. So like we haven't been poisoned, we haven't had anything like that. We have a powers refresh, which we haven't used any powers. We have power cooldown, which we haven't done anything like that. And then soul enhancements, resurrections, which we don't need to do anything because we're still alive. All right, so let's clean up those dice, and then let's continue on forward. All right, so we are at, yep, okay. So, I think what I'm going to do is, okay, and then we turn these little bookmarks back around so that shows that these guys are ready to act again. Alrighty. And now, let me see here. We are going to have, you can only use 1 combat action, so she can only hit once. She has multiple. I think she can hit with both, but I can use either one. I'm just thinking to myself how I want to have her do that. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is Jeanne, she's not actually moving. I'm just moving her a little bit closer. She's going to move up, and she's going to slash that. Oops, I forgot that goes on top of the event deck. And she's going to slash this nest. Okay. And so she has 1 red, 3 blue. Okay. And she didn't hit a darn thing. Wow. That was a very bad roll. Okay. They don't have anything, so they doesn't trigger anything. Okay. All right. So then, at the end of her turn, I believe the minions act on every single turn. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure minions act on every single turn, if I read that correctly, but let me just double check. Sorry for, stopping every once in a while and looking at this stuff. Page 58. But I just want to make sure that I'm doing what's supposed to be done, okay? Not considered enemies for the purposes of being targeted and defended. Minions in play can be represented by the tokens included in the game or by figures sold separately. Okay. They don't have enemy cards. This means that they are not assigned a single hero. On the contrary, they may be accessible to all players. Each scroll card is shared between the minions of that species with the same name. They are not activated by counter cards. They act based on what is detailed on their minion scroll, usually during each enemy turn. Even if there are no other enemies in play, even when no encounter cards are drawn. So, during each hero's turn, at the end of their turn, okay, so like when I flip this bookmark for Jeanne over like that, okay, then basically what ends up happening is that now it's the enemy turn and the minions activate. So, let me see here. Occult threat. This minion only counts as an enemy for the purposes of being targeted, attacking, and defending. Each figure acts independently, at the beginning of each enemy turn and when triggered, roll a single red die per nest. Okay, spawns 1 venom for every hit. Whoa! We get to spawn 3 venoms. So, we get to spawn 1, 2, and 3. We'll throw them right there, because that's about all we can do, so you can kind of see where I've put all of the venom minions. Okay. It says it ignores all body conditions except fire, cannot move, but can be moved by other effects, and then if they roll a defense or a shield, fragile. If this minion suffers 4+ HP from a single attack, and when it dies, it uses acid vapors. The acid vapors is an activation effect. All characters in this area are attacked by 2 hits, 2 blue, and roll this, break, and then save, poison, act, which poison 1. Okay? Okay. So we rolled 2 blue dice. We spawned 2 minions. Okay. It cannot move, but can be moved by the effects of a bash or other powers. Okay, so we don't need to worry about that. All right, now, this is quickly getting out of hand. So what we need to do is kill some of these venoms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Artemis hit a minion, hit a venom. Okay, I'm just going to attack one of those guys right there. And I hit with 2, and I got a thing. I'm wondering if I want to reroll to try to get a sword and sorcery. You know what? Because I'm killing it, I'm going to go ahead and spend this 1 because it's already got a hit on it. I'm going to spend that 1 to reroll this to see if I can roll that sword and sorcery. Oh, I didn't. I just rolled another lightning bolt, which means I can't use it again. Okay, so that means I killed the minion, so that minion goes bye-bye. Okay. And let me see here. I think I might use my activation power here to KO another minion. Okay. And now, I believe when I use a power, I believe all I do, flying figure on map, ignored by flying characters. You reduce the figure count, prevents the characters from forming attacks and reaction attacks, requires a dash or 1 point of movement or activation enemies to be removed. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock this Venom minion on its side. I'm just going to turn it over because it's just easier that way, because it's not going to be able to lay on its side. Okay, so that way it has to spend a movement point to turn over during my turn. Okay, and so that's going to be my turn, because I don't have anything else to do. And now the nest minions will roll another 3 venoms into the area. So we will put 1, a 2, a 3. Okay. And then let me see here. These other minions now will all attack. So basically, they have the chest hugger attack, which is at the end of each enemy turn, each venom moves up to 3 areas towards the closest hero. If, before or after this movement, a venom is in the same area as a hero, discontinue movement and place that venom on the hero's sheet. In case of multiple heroes, the venom chooses a hero without venoms attached first, then uses the standard victim selection criteria. On a hero sheet, a venom can no longer be targeted as an enemy. A hero can spend 1 combat action to defeat all venoms on the hero sheet of another hero in the same area. And then at the end of each phase, the heroes suffer poison act for each venom on their hero sheet. Okay, so what these guys are going to do is this venom minion will move, because that's what it does, okay? Because it has to use that, so it won't be able to move, because that's its movement, is to move over, okay? And then, let me see here. This venom will jump on Artemis, so we put him over here on the character sheet. We'll just throw him on the character sheet. This venom will jump on Mist, because she's kind of the closest. This venom will jump on Jeanne. Now I have 2 venoms left, so one's going to jump on Jeanne, one's going to jump on Artemis. Okay. All right. Or sorry, not Mist, Artemis. Okay. And now Mist is the only one left. So what she's going to do is she is going to use her combat action to slice off all of Jeanne's minions. Okay, so all of those minions on Jeanne go away. Okay, and let me see here. What does her power do? Enemy must perform its attack when this one gets in the remaining area. No, that doesn't do anything for me. Okay, that's only if we have an enemy in the area. And since she already used her combat action, she doesn't have any other actions. Okay. So I'm wondering if I should move forward and get waypoint 1, which I think I will do. I'm going to move forward to grab waypoint 1. Okay. So with waypoint 1, we read 2.1. All right. Waypoint 1. Several caves lead to dead ends, but in the distance, the echo of running water resounds among the rocks. A harbinger of hope for the party, thick webbing curtails the hero's view of what hides in the recesses to either side of the path. If you are not engaged, if you want to remove the web, spend 1 normal action and go to 2.2. Okay. So I think because she hasn't spent her 1 normal action, she's going to spend her 1 action to look, or, to kind of spread the cobwebs aside. Okay. So we roll a blue die. And we rolled a hit. So we get another venom minion. Damn it. Another venom minion. Doink. Okay, I think that waypoint stays pretty much the whole time. Okay. Yeah, we pretty much leave that one there. Okay. So, I think that will end part 1. Well, actually, here, let's finish out this turn, then we'll end part 1. Okay, so, we head into the event phase. Because we had this, or actually, before we head into the event phase, we roll 2 red dice. Another 3 venom minions. All right, so we're going to spawn 1... We're going to spawn, let me see here, where's the... Oh, come on now. Maybe not the big minions. Ugh. Did I put them in here? No. Where did I put those venom minions? Some things around, and I didn't... Sorry this is taking so long. I'm just trying to find a couple of extra minions tokens, venom minion tokens, because I had them, and I moved them. Where did I put them? They're not in there. They're not in there. They're not in there. I must have put them in here. Yep, I did. Okay. So because I kind of ran out of venom tokens, I'm going to throw these guys down on here. Okay. So, there's 2 more. Alright. So, let's take these, throw them away. Okay. So, basically what we're going to do is these 2 will jump on Jeanne. These 2 will jump on Artemis. And this will jump on Mist. Okay? And then it says, at the end of each event phase, heroes suffer poison act for each venom on their hero sheet, then all venoms on the hero sheets are then discarded. So, yeah, we're going to be suffering some poison, which is going to suck. But that's okay, because we're almost done with this particular part of the episode. All right. So basically, during the event phase, we check the event deck. We see that the card is there. Okay, so then we discard it, and now we have no card on top. Okay. So now I need, where are my poison counters? Okay. What did I do with my poison counters? There they are. Okay. So poison 1. Poison 1. Poison 1. I need pretty much almost every single poison counter I got. Okay. Poison 1. What I may have to do is I may have to put that... it's poison 1, but I may not have enough to put on every single person. Well, she has 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they have 2 each. And I don't think I have 2 more. Those are the only ones I have. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, just to be cheeky, and I'll just know that that's the way it is. This does not mean she has 2 poison, it just means she has 4. Okay, she has 4 poison 1 counters, and then these 2 will have 2 poison 1 counters each. Okay. Does that make sense? So she has basically 4 poison counters. She has 2 poison counters. She has 2 poison counters. And all of these little venom minions go bye-bye. Sorry about the shoddy ass camera work. Ugh. And one of these days I'll get around to painting all this stuff. Alrighty. Sorry that took so long. Wow. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think of this so far. We're now all poisoned, and we're back up to the beginning of the time phase, which is going to suck for us because we're going to have to make a lot of saves. And if we don't make our saves, we're going to be taking a lot of damage. Because that's how poison works. I'll kind of read up on the rules here a little bit about how poison works. And then, yeah, because it inflicts 1 HP per rank. Then the hero may roll save, discard poison if the save roll succeeds. So we're going to be taking a lot of damage. So... this is going to suck. All right. So again, smash that like button, hit subscribe, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think of this series so far. And as we say, we will see you on the next one.